you made some comments about the American Republican presumptive nominee Donald Trump. You called him brilliant, outstanding, talented. These comments were reported around the world. I was wondering what in him led you to that judgment, and do you still hold that judgment?
Вот, вы известный человек в нашей стране, вот вы лично.
You personally are very famous in our country.
Как ведущий,
You are not only famous as a journalist in one of the biggest TV stations,
но и как интеллектуал.
but as an intellectual.
Зачем вы
Why do you always change the meaning of what I said?
Вы возьмите, вот над вами берет...
Because at the moment, you speak as a journalist, not as an analyst.
Ну посмотрите, что я сказал.
Why are you juggling with what I said? I only said that he was a bright person. Isn't he bright? He is.
Никаких других характеристик я ему не давал.
I did not say anything else about him. But there's one thing that I paid attention to, and that I definitely welcome, is that Mr. Trump said he's ready to restore full-fledged Russian-American relations.
Восстановлению российско-американских отношений. Чего здесь плохого? Мы все это приветствуем.
What can there be bad about it? Don't you welcome it? We all welcome it.
Но мы не вмешиваемся, мы никогда
But we never interfere into the internal political processes of other countries, especially those in the United States.
Но мы будем работать.
We are ready to work with any president that the American people will vote for.
Хотя я не думаю, кстати говоря, что
Actually, they always teach others how to live. But do you think that the elections are democratic in the United States? Do you think that they are organized democratically?
это правда. Посмотрите, там дважды в истории США.
Because you know, twice in U.S. history, the American people, the majority of the people,
большинством голосов
elected persons who had not been supported by the majority of the people
количество избирателей.
because they were chosen by people who had the right to vote.
Значит, а когда мы
My colleagues and I never blamed anyone, but when we discussed, they just said, don't meddle into this.
нам говорят,
We are doing it the way they are used
мы
to.
так привыкли. Так и хочется сказать, ну да, не лезьте к нам.
But then what I feel like saying is then,
Разберитесь у себя сначала.
why are you meddling with our affairs? But I'd like to say again that, of course, it's none of our business. But you know, I heard that American prosecutors were trying to get rid of the international observers at the voting stations.
Вот. Но это их проблемы.
But they are used to
Они
it.
так привыкли.
They like it.
им нравится.
They like it the way it is.
Великая держава.
The U.S. is a great power.
Ну, сегодня, наверное, супер.
At the moment, it is probably the only superpower,
Мы это принимаем.
and we accept this fact.
Мы хотим и готовы.
We want to work with the U.S., and we are ready to do that. And no matter how these elections are held eventually, they will be held, there will be a new head of state elected. They will have broad authority.
Значит, там идут сложные внутриполитические и
I know that there are complex economic and political processes in the United States.
такая страна, как
At the moment, the world needs a country as strong as the U.S. is. And we do need the U.S. too.
чтобы они постоянно
But what we do not need of them is to interfere with our affairs all the time, to instruct us how to live, to prevent Europe from building relations with us.
санкции, про которые вы сказали, они касаются Соединенных Штатов?
You know, the sanctions that you've mentioned is the U.S. touched by the sanctions? No, they have not suffered. They have not suffered from the sanctions in any way.
На Европе отражаются.
It is Europe that has been affected by the sanctions, and Russia has been affected as well. But for the U.S., no, there has been no effect.
Своим партнерам надо потерпеть.
But the Americans persuade their partners to continue the sanctions. Why?
Матео, зачем вам терпеть? Сейчас
Maybe
Матео
Matteo
объяснит,
can
зачем.
explain to us why they have to continue suffering from the sanctions. And the Americans try to persuade them to endure the sanctions for some more time. Why?
Да. Вот я искренне говорю. Честно,
Matteo is a wonderful speaker. He spoke so persuasively and sincerely.
может гордиться таким примером.
Italy can be proud of such a prime minister
Но
because he spoke so beautifully today.
мы никого не нахваливаем.
You know, they're not praising anyone. It's none of our
Немцы
business.
говорят, не наше пиво.
You know, as the Germans say, it's not our beer to meddle with it.
Выберут,
Because, you know, when the U.S. elects a president, we are going to work with anyone, whoever that is, because the American people trust this person.
будет такой человек, который
But we hope that this will be a person who will strive for developing relations with our country and creating a better, a secure world, a more secure world.
Just to be clear, Mr. President, the word brilliant was in the Interfax translation. I realize that other translations might say it's bright, but I use the official Interfax translation. But let me ask you about another person you have dealt with a great deal. Mr. Trump, you've never met. Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. In your very long question and answers with the Russian people, you made a joke about when somebody asked you about her, you said, I think that the Russian idiom is the husband and wife is the same devil. And what it means in the English version is it's two sides of the same coin. What did you mean by that, and what do you think, how did she do as Secretary of State? You dealt with her extensively.
чего не скажешь.
Well, you know, I probably just said that hot-headedly. Probably I was just impulsive when I said that about her, you
Не
know.
работал, с ней Лавров работал.
I did not work with Hillary that much. You know, Mr. Lavrov was our foreign minister back then. That was him who worked with her.
Сергей Ильич Лавров был. Я работал с Биллом
I'd
Клинтоном.
like to say that I worked a lot with the American president back then,
Промежуток времени. И у нас,
and I can say that we shared very good relations.
я даже могу сказать, что я благодарен
And I'm even grateful to him for the signs of attention
того, как
and respect to me personally,
мое вхождение, что ли, вот.
and to Russia when I started my term as the president of the Russian Federation.
Как раз он, ну, у госпожи Клинтон, у нее, может быть, свой взгляд.
And speaking about Madam Clinton, she probably has her own view regarding the development of the Russian-American relations.
Вы знаете, есть еще
But there's one thing that I'd like to draw your attention
внимание,
to.
которое не имеет отношения
It is not relevant to Russian-American relations or to any other big political issue.
политики. Это имеет
It is more relevant to human resources policy
Вот я
because, you know, based on my own experience, I can say the following.
смотрел на ситуацию, которая происходит с людьми,
I've seen many people change after they were appointed at some office.
и после этого. Часто
Because, you know, when they have different responsibilities, they start to think differently, to speak differently,
начинают и говорить по-другому,
and even their appearances change.
внешне выглядят по-другому. Мы исходим из того,
Because, you know, we believe, in this regard I can say that we believe that the sense of responsibility of the head of the state of the United States, and the United States is a country that a lot depends on in the world.
что это чувство ответственности будет побуждать.
We hope that this sense of responsibility will encourage the future American president to work together for a more secure world,
более
to
безопасный
work constructively.